Do you ever wonder why some people seem to build wealth effortlessly while others seem to struggle? The secret isn't luck, it's the habits that they practice every single day. In this video, I'm breaking down the habits that can help you build wealth, gain financial security, and set you up for long-term success. So let's get into it. One thing that you have to be very aware of is all of the distractions and all of the influences that you're under every single day. And I'm not just talking about like the billboard ads that you see or like the commercials that you see, everything on social media trying to get you to spend your hard-earned money to buy stuff you don't need. It's sometimes even the people closest to you, like your friends and family, giving you bad financial advice. And it's not always their fault. It's basically just that most people are terrible with money. And this is what they grew up learning from their parents and their family and friends. So this is what they know, and this is how they think that money should be. And then they will try to kind of impress these feelings and opinions onto you and these terrible money habits onto you. So you have to be really careful with all of the potential distractions that's basically going to distract you from your goal, which is building financial wealth and setting yourself up for success. So one thing that's going to help you cut out all of the distractions is to remember to always prioritize yourself and your future self by paying yourself first. So instead of paying all of your bills first or going shopping or whatever else you want to spend your money on, make sure that you prioritize your savings and your investments, because your future self will thank you for it. Saving for an emergency fund or saving for fun travel plans is actually a really important form of self-care. You're basically setting your future self up for whatever it is that you want, whether that's just to feel safe and secure if something bad were to happen, or if you want to travel the world and you're saving money for that, then you're prioritizing yourself versus everybody else and what they want you to do. And then investing is really the only way to grow your wealth. So if you want to be rich, you have to make sure you're prioritizing your investments over everything else. A really helpful tip for most people is to automate everything, automate your savings, automate your investments. That way you don't even like see it, and then you're not tempted to spend it. Sometimes when there's a lot of money sitting in your checkings account, it can be very tempting to spend it. It's almost like, oh well, what can I spend this money on? But if you allocate everything automatically to your goals, then you're not going to be able to see it and you're not going to be tempted by it. The next one is to live below your means. There are so many people in the world who are in credit card debt because they want to flex and they want to pretend like they have this luxurious lifestyle. Financially, they are really, really struggling because they're in such bad consumer debt. Do not be one of these people. Live below your means and don't worry about impressing everybody else with your money or with material items. The thing is, when you see somebody with a material item that you want, you're not impressed in the sense like you're impressed by that person. What actually happens is you are impressed by the item and you think about yourself having that item and what it would be like if you had it. So you can apply that to everything. Like if you have a nice car, if you have a nice handbag, people aren't going to be impressed by you. They're going to be impressed by the thing, and they're going to think about what it would be like for them to have it. So if you're trying to impress people with material items, if you're trying to flex this like lifestyle, it's not going to work. People aren't going to like you more because of it. They're not going to be impressed by you because of it. They're just going to think about themselves. So live below your means and prioritize your saving and investments, because that's going to actually grow your wealth. Instead of having to pretend and trying to flex this lifestyle that you don't actually have, you can actually build wealth so that you can actually have the lifestyle later down the line. A good tip is to avoid lifestyle inflation. So every time you get a bonus or every time you get a raise, instead of thinking about how you can spend this extra money, think about how much of that you want to allocate to savings or investments. Maybe you put half in your savings and then the remainder you will put into your travel fund, or maybe you'll save half and invest a quarter and then you can spend the rest of it. However you want to do it, but just be intentional so that you have a really good plan. Every time you get extra money, you already have kind of like an automatic system set up for how that money will be spent. Remember, wealth is built by keeping more than you spend. The next one is to invest consistently. Like I said, the only real way to become rich is through investing. So whether it's real estate, a side business, or just something as simple as index funds, you want to make sure that you're putting your money to work so that it's always working to make you more money. And that way, even when you're just sleeping or sitting here watching this video, your money is constantly working hard for you and making you more money. The most important things to do is to start now, and even if you're just starting out with a very small amount, even like $20 or $50 per paycheck going into an automatic investments account, maybe going into your Roth IRA if you don't already have one. I think the key is to start, and even if it's small, to stay consistent, and then you can just let compound interest do the heavy lifting for you. The next one is to avoid bad debt. Bad debt is the #1 wealth killer. Not all debt are bad, but things like consumer debt, credit card debt, anything with really high interest rates will just completely drain your wealth. So if you do have bad consumer debt, make sure that you prioritize paying it off as soon as possible. On the other hand, there are good debt like mortgages or small business loans that can actually help you build wealth, but it's important to know the difference and to kind of learn more about these kinds of things. It's really crazy to me how often people will have bad debt and not really fully understand what is going on. Like, I know sometimes it's easy to get stuck into the cycle of having credit card debt because it feels like even though you're making payments all the time, the balance is just not going down because you're just drowning in interest. And I think it's one of like the biggest money traps that you can fall into, so just be super careful with that. The next one is to have multiple sources of income. It's so risky to rely only on one source of income, especially when things feel uncertain. It can just be very stressful, and I feel like it can cause a lot of anxiety. So one way to alleviate that stress and one way to kind of set yourself up so that you feel more secure, because you're not solely or heavily dependent on just one source of income, is to create multiple streams of incomes. So whether it's side hustles or maybe from your investments, it's good to start thinking about other ways that you can bring in extra income that's not just your day job. The next one is to continue to learn about money. I feel like every time I learn something new, I'm always like so amazed by it. And I really feel like not knowing it before put me at a disadvantage. So make sure that you continue to learn about money so that you're never sort of being taken advantage of by like the system or by credit card companies or even your banks or advertisers. The more you can learn about money and the more that you understand money, the better you will be at managing it, and then you won't be susceptible to institutions like banks and advertisers, credit card companies, all of these like predatory institutions that are always trying to kind of take advantage of you to make themselves richer. So in conclusion, building wealth isn't about being perfect, it's about staying consistent and sticking to the habits that you know will give you success in the long run. So let me know which of these habits you're already practicing, and let me know which ones you still need to work on or which ones you're excited to try. Or if you have any good tips, make sure that you share them down below. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!